Most historians agree on one terrifying fact. 536 AD was the absolute worst year to be alive in human history. Not 1918 during the Spanish flu, not 1347 during the Black Death, not even the World Wars. The year 536 AD brought a catastrophe so devastating that it plunged the entire world into darkness and triggered a cascade of horrors that would haunt humanity for over a century. The sun vanished from the sky, crops failed worldwide, empires crumbled, millions starved. This was the year that nearly ended civilization itself. In early 536 AD, something unprecedented happened. A mysterious fog descended across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, blocking out the sun for 18 consecutive months. Byzantine historian Procopius recorded that the sun gave no more light than the moon, casting only a feeble shadow. Temperatures plummeted during what should have been summer. Snow fell in China during August. The Mediterranean world experienced the coldest decade in over 2,300 years. Scientists now believe a massive volcanic eruption in Iceland sent millions of tons of ash into the atmosphere, creating a volcanic winter that encircled the globe. The ash cloud was so dense it created perpetual twilight. Crops withered in fields across 3 continents. Harvests failed completely. Food stores rapidly depleted. The ancient world had no preparation for a catastrophe of this magnitude. The crop failures triggered immediate famine across the known world. In Ireland, the annals recorded a failure of bread from the years 536 to 539. China experienced widespread drought and starvation. Scandinavian communities abandoned settlements en masse. Archaeological evidence shows a dramatic population decline across multiple regions. Entire villages simply ceased to exist. The death toll climbed into the millions as starvation ravaged populations already weakened by cold and darkness. The catastrophe destabilized even the mightiest civilizations. The Byzantine Empire, previously flourishing under Justinian, faced immediate crisis. Tax revenues collapsed as agricultural production vanished. Trade routes became death traps as desperate populations turned to banditry. The Sasanian Empire in Persia suffered similar devastation. Political structures that had stood for centuries began cracking under the pressure of mass starvation and social unrest. As if famine and cold were insufficient, 541 AD brought a new horror, the Justinianic Plague. This bubonic plague pandemic, likely facilitated by weakened populations and disrupted societies, killed an estimated 25 to 50 million people over 2 centuries. The plague struck the Byzantine Empire with particular ferocity, killing up to 5,000 people daily in Constantinople at its peak. The combination of climate disaster and disease created an apocalyptic scenario. Social order disintegrated across affected regions. Desperate populations resorted to extreme measures to survive. Reports of cannibalism emerged from multiple sources. Banditry became endemic. Religious authorities struggled to maintain control as people questioned why their gods had abandoned them. Mass migrations began as populations fled devastated regions, triggering conflicts with established communities. The fabric of civilization itself seemed to be unraveling. The effects of 536 AD persisted for generations. Tree ring data shows stunted growth for years afterward. Population levels took over a century to recover in many regions. Economic systems remained disrupted well into the 7th century. The catastrophe fundamentally altered the trajectory of human civilization, contributing significantly to the period we now call the Dark Ages. Some societies never recovered their former glory. Modern scientists discovered the truth about 536 AD through ice core samples from Swiss glaciers. These cores contained volcanic glass particles and ash deposits precisely dated to early 536. Additional eruptions in 540 and 547 AD compounded the initial disaster. The evidence confirmed what ancient texts had described: a global catastrophe triggered by volcanic activity on a scale rarely seen in human history. The year 536 AD demonstrates humanity's vulnerability to natural disasters and climate disruption. A single volcanic eruption nearly destroyed civilization when global population was a fraction of today's numbers. Modern society, despite technological advances, remains susceptible to similar catastrophic events. Volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, or climate disruption could trigger cascading failures in our interconnected world. The lessons of 536 AD remain chillingly relevant. The year 536 AD stands as the worst year in human history, a perfect storm of volcanic winter, global famine, social collapse and plague that killed millions and nearly extinguished civilization. The darkness that fell over the world that year lasted far longer than 18 months. Its effects echoed through generations. If this story shocked you, subscribe to discover more hidden catastrophes that shaped our world.